Welcome to What If You Can with Nurai. This big topic is how hiking in the nature helps you to clear your mind and then think of your past and then find a solution where you are stuck and how to escape. Like, for example, I went to a beautiful hike this weekend and then I was thinking about my career life because I want to change a job and I don't like this job. And I'm sure there are so many of you in the same situation, especially right after graduation. The first job, they always say you won't like it. That's very true. I didn't know that until I experienced it. So I will just talk about how I feel like I'm super stuck and then how I think I will get out of this and then just give you some suggestions. Everyone's way is different how to get it out of that situation, but I think listening to other person helps a lot and then makes us think more and then gives us ideas. So that's why I would like to share my story, and then I hope you will feel supported and then find your answers through my story, through this conversation. So, as I mentioned before, I moved to US 2018. Like, I guess one of my other podcasts I mentioned, I moved to US 2018. I was studying agriculture in Turkey in a small town, and I came my third year summer. So my first year, the first 2 years in US, I was au pair. It's a cultural childcare experience. You take care of people's kids. In exchange, you teach the language to them, and then you can stay with them and then get some also language. You can take English classes. So the first year I got lucky. I was living with a Turkish family, so that helped a lot. And then the second year was another family. So after 2 years, I learned English. And then, of course, I was like, oh, I want to stay in San Francisco Bay Area more because I thought 2 years is not enough. And then, of course, my J1 visa would end. And then I did to apply student visa. And then I actually did apply student visa, but they denied it because they were like, oh, you need to show more evidence that you will go back to Turkey. And I didn't have any evidence. But thankfully, my husband, back then my boyfriend, he was nice enough to propose me and then just help me to get out of this visa situation. And then with his help and support, I was able to get my degree. But getting my degree wasn't easy because, like, especially growing up in Turkey in a strict school, boarding school. I went to boarding school at age 7 years old, and then just the culture was very old school mind. They would expect you to be really good at mathematics, all physics, chemistry, all the science classes. And everyone wanted their kid to be a doctor, lawyer, and those high paying jobs. And of course, I wanted that too, but for me, it was just so hard. I grew up in a farm until I was 13 years old. I just enjoyed herding sheep, hiking, and just being outdoor all the time and do gardening job. That was just my passion, or talking philosophy, or just human connection. And then I just didn't feel like I can sit and solve those complex problems, which is really cool. Some people do that. We need all of those diversity. So, but that just wasn't for me. And that, unfortunately, and that I cannot even pronounce unfortunately, but I'm trying my best. And so, yeah, in high school, my family moved to city, and then that high school I chose science subject. Like, we had a different classes, like you can study for 4 years those things mostly. So I chose the science heavily class, and that was actually not a good decision because I was really not good at chemistry, physics, mathematics, and that 4 years I don't even remember How it went, how I passed, I have zero idea, but it wasn't easy. I mean, I chose that because I wanted my brother to be happy, like to prove them that, oh yes, you should respect me, and yes, I'm smart. That was the way people respects you. If you say they respect smart people, so if you smart people in those classes, everyone is smart, I think so. Sorry about my language, doing my best to use the English politely. And so yeah, and then from there going to university, and well, I got agriculture engineering, but I liked the agriculture part, but I didn't like the engineering part, the yield of the crop and statistic. All those engineering part was really hard for me, and then I was just failing those classes, and then I was looking forward to actually find a way to escape, because I knew probably it will take me 5 or 6 years to finish instead of 4 years. So I got lucky that I came to US, and I don't think I will find a job because it was more like a man dominant field, and it's very competitive. The exam is really hard. So when I moved to US, and like everyone in Silicon Valley was software engineer, and then my brother will tell me, you should study software engineering as well, it's a cool thing, and then it will be easier to find a job for you. So, and then back then me and my husband, back then boyfriend, we were just boyfriend, like just knew each other. So it was just, I was like, okay, maybe I should study software engineering, that way I can get sponsorship when I graduate. But even the first week when I started in community college, I just was like, no, coding is not for me. I'm not the type of person who is going to sit for hours and just write code and miss the sunrise, sunset, and human connection, all those, like, cute downtown vibe, like all the cute things, and then just isolate myself. That was just not me. I'm not even an introvert to need my space. I needed like a space with human, not by myself. So I tried so hard, but thankfully my husband Jason, back then boyfriend, was like, okay, I mean, he got married with me, so he really saved my life. And then as soon as I got my visa, I was just like, I'm going to study something easier. Well, I didn't know what to study. And then I actually wanted to study environmental science, agriculture, something about plant, climate, but I just didn't know even how to research. Like, I'm a first generation, and I think it's really hard when you're first generation. You just think you learn everything at school, how to research everything, but not everyone is the same. So for me, I just needed extra support, but I didn't even know how to get that extra support, extra mentorship. I didn't even know how to ask questions. So I was kind of lost, but I found a part-time job on Craigslist as a business development in a ag tech startup. So I realized that I enjoyed that because I was doing cold reach on LinkedIn to other greenhouses around the world. So that was fun. I was connecting so many people, and I was like, okay, maybe I should study something like that. It's more like, options. And then I decided to study business administration management. But I didn't know business actually heavily has mathematic finance, so that was an accounting. That was the hard part for me. And thankfully the teachers were very supportive. And then I wish I knew how to use AI, ChatGPT, Gemini back then. I don't even know if they had it back then. That will make way easier, at least solving those complex problems in English. I mean, in Turkish I wouldn't understand. In English was way harder. So somehow I passed, but I mean, I still liked some part because there were some classes that I learned ethic, behavior, empathy, how to be a good manager. Like those are the really good skills. I think I'm glad I learned it. And then also improving my presentation skill. And that was great. And then also teamwork. We had so many team projects. Most of the close friends, most of the good people I met was through those teams. So I'm really lucky for that. And then getting my degree, of course, after graduating, I didn't know how hard it's to get a job, especially in Bay Area. The salaries are high, but it's super competitive, and the interviews are really hard, especially, I mean, for foreigners more hard. But so I was looking for a job for so long, for 10 months. Even though I'm such a social person, I know so many people, I went to so many networking events in Bay Area, but maybe I realized that I didn't know how to use it. Because I would give you, from my advice, I think you should follow up many times, because people are so busy. People are really busy, and no one going to answer at first or even second. So that's one thing I learned, that I will keep follow up with those people and then do my best. And also I didn't know how referral link is important. Like I didn't know referral links puts you top of the most of the applicants. So that's another thing I learned, it I have to do that as well for my next thing. Anyway, so I was just really desperate to find a job, and especially I wanted to find something that my degree will worth. So eventually on LinkedIn I got a job offer. It's a vendor company working with Google. It's like a content analyst. Sounded very cool, and I needed a job. The pay is very low, but I needed to have experience, so I accepted. And it's been how many months? Like 7 months, I think now. I started in October, and then I realized that tech is not my passion, but I need to put time and effort to find a new job, and I'm more passionate. So I think what I really realized, that I am not going to repeat the same thing, because like I have to be really specific. If I find another job similar to this, I will feel the same way, even if the salary is higher. Yes, maybe the salary will motivate me, but the stress will always stay inside me. So I think my advice to all of you, if you are feeling the same as me, stuck, and you are lost, and then you don't enjoy your job, like try to make a list, and then try to look at your connection, what are they doing, and then try to ask them question what they like about their job, and then how did they find it, and then if they can just have a video call. I think most people are nice enough to meet in person or video call. So I am also still like figuring it out how to find a job that I won't feel the same. I will feel like I am building a skill, because data analyst needs so much science, and it's classic statistic, and I was never good at that in high school, in university. And I am more still in love with nature, so I need to find like in balance in Silicon Valley something. And I like podcasting, that's why I started that, because podcasting is one of my other passion. I'm really passionate about listening to other people's stories and then sharing stories. So social media can be another option for you guys, if I can do it with my English accent, like this accent. And then I am very slow talker, but you can do it too. I think that should be a great motivation. Thank you so much for listening this week episode, and more will come soon. Stay tuned with What If You Can with Nurai.